very people. He chooses people just like you and me who are willing to do as He commands. God uses people who will give Him all. No matter how small your role may seem to you, because little becomes much when you place it in the Master's little becomes much when you place it in the Master's
Today, I'm going to be talking about the uses of cayenne, both internally and externally, in addition to those mentioned by Sister Barbara O'Neill this morning. Next, I am going to explain the procedure for drinking cayenne. I'm going to be outlining the steps, and then finally, I will demonstrate how to make cayenne healing balm. The scientific name for cayenne is capsicum, and depending on where you are in the world, it's known by various names. For example, sorry about that. Yes, I'm going to be talking about cayenne, and the biological name, scientific name is capsicum. And depending on where you are in the world, cayenne is known by different names. Some examples of these are bird pepper, red pepper, Spanish pepper, American red pepper, African red pepper, chili pepper, garden pepper, among others. Cayenne causes no harm and has no unhealthy reactions. Some uses of cayenne are, for example, number one, it can be used as a natural stimulant where it increases the blood flow to the stomach in order to aid digestion. Cayenne is also effective as a poultice, and that means that it can be mixed with other herbs and applied directly to the skin. Cayenne is also good for inflammation, both externally and internally. It's good for rheumatism, good for your kidneys, spleen, pancreas, wonderful for lockjaw, excellent for yellow fever and other fevers. It's good for old and new sores, good for wounds. It's excellent for stroke and heart attack. For example, if in the case of an heart attack, you would put a little cayenne just beneath the tongue, and immediately it will go straight to the bloodstream. And it will equalize the blood circulation, so the head will get the same amount of blood as the toe. So cayenne is so very wonderful. With what's happening on the road these days, say for example, someone gets shot or someone gets stabbed, then you will pour some cayenne on the wound and the blood will coagulate, it will stop the bleeding, and the blood will return to the body and the blood circulation will be equalized. It will be equally distributed. So cayenne is such a wonderful herb. Another thing is cold feet. Some people suffer from cold feet. And what you need to do, you can apply cayenne with a little oil to your feet, or you can put it in the tip of your shoes. I don't like winter, so normally, you know, when I'm at school, I would put some cayenne in the tip of my shoes before I put my socks on. And even when you're outside, it will keep your toes so nice and warm.
Hmm.
Another way to use cayenne, it's for hemorrhaging. When you're bleeding from the bowels or you're bleeding from the bladder, it's an excellent way to use cayenne. So now I'm going to tell you exactly how to drink cayenne, because I've heard in the past lots of people say, oh, it burns my stomach, but let me explain to you the proper way to use cayenne. So when you're using cayenne, you'll have to start gradually. And that is, we start with a quarter teaspoon, and then after 3 days, you increase by a quarter to half a teaspoon, and then 3/4, and then 1 teaspoon. So you take a quarter teaspoon of cayenne in a little water, followed by a glass of water. And you do that 3 times a day. After 3 days, you increase it to half a teaspoon of cayenne in a little water, and then followed by a glass of water. And the water has got to be room temperature, not warm, not hot. So another 3 days, you increase it to 3/4 teaspoon. Now we are at 3/4 teaspoon, so it's quarter, half, then 3/4 teaspoon in a little water, followed by a glass of water. And by this, you know where I'm going. So after another 3 days, you finally increase to 1 teaspoon of cayenne in a little water, followed by 1 glass of water. And in this way, by using it gradually, what you're actually doing is getting the body accustomed to cayenne. And by then, you won't even taste the cayenne. Yeah, your stomach will get accustomed to the cayenne because you have been using it gradually. And after, once you get to 1 teaspoon, you won't even taste it, because this will accustom your system to the pungency of the herb. And as I said before, you won't even take it. You won't even taste it. So that is how you take cayenne. So on every occasion, you need to follow this step. You put a little cayenne, whatever you decide to drink, in a little water. You drink that, and then you follow up with 1 glass of water. Cayenne can also be added to your food, but you should never cook it, because of course, if you cook it, you will cook away the goodness. So you add it to your food or you drink it as I've just explained to you. Now, I'm going to demonstrate to you how to make a cayenne healing balm. Okay, let me tell you the uses first. A cayenne healing balm is excellent for stiff neck. Sometimes you wake up in the morning and your neck is stiff. You slept bad according to the saying. It's also good for sore muscles, for headaches. And Jeanette will in a minute show you how to apply it to the pressure points. Instead of taking tablets, it's good to apply cayenne to the pressure points. That's the cayenne healing balm, of course, and then it will alleviate the problem. It's also good for muscular pain, for stiff joints, for arthritis, and it can be used as a catalyst. A catalyst is something that speeds up the reaction of something else. So say, for example, you have got an ointment that you normally use or a salve. So what you would do, you will apply a little cayenne on the area, and then you'll put your then you will put your balm or ointment on top of that. And what will actually happen? The cayenne will drive the healing power deeper into the body. And hence, that's why it's so excellent for circulation. So whatever you're using, You put a little cayenne healing balm first, and then you apply whatever cream you normally use, and the cayenne will drive that healing power straight into your body. So now I'm going to be demonstrating how to make a cayenne healing balm. It's quite simple. It's about 5 steps. So first you'll need cayenne, and this variety is African red pepper. This is what it looks like once you grind it. And of course, we have got another variety. This is, what's the name of this one? Yeah, this is chili. And if you notice, it's a little bit darker and it's longer, whilst the African red pepper is kind of round and tiny. See? It's smaller. It's little and round, while those ones are kind of long. So what we will need in order to make the cayenne healing balm is, we would need cayenne, of course, 100 grams of cayenne, 750 mils of olive oil,
We didn't hear that. We're not hearing you.
Jackie, unmute yourself.
So all this time you haven't been hearing me?
No, no,
Not a few minutes.
no. It just went.
We heard up to 750 mils of olive oil.
Because every
Okay, because it automatically gets muted sometimes.
1 minute, Sister Jackie, everybody who is here, please mute so that we don't hear noise, and we are recording the thing. So please just mute yourself. So only Jackie we will hear as we go on. Thank you so much.
Okay, sorry about that. Let me reiterate.
I feel it,
In order
I
to make,
feel it.
now we're going to be making the cayenne healing balm. So we need 100 grams of cayenne, 750 mils of olive oil, 4 beeswax. This is what it looks like. Some menthol crystals and some herbal oils. For example, peppermint oil, wintergreen oil. Those are excellent oils. Jeanette, of course, will mention some others. So step number 1, first you need to put your oven to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. 85 degrees Fahrenheit. And you're going to put your 100 grams of cayenne in a container, oven proof, of course. Then you're going to add your oil, your 750 ml of oil. Make sure it's totally immersed. The cayenne should be covered with oil. Then you're going to put it in your oven, 85 degrees Celsius, for 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Why you're going to do this? It's because we need the oil to pull out all the healing properties from the cayenne into the oil, because the oil is what we're going to be using. So once you put it in the oven under low temperature, gradually all the goodness of the cayenne will move straight out into the oil. Okay, after 1.5 hours, you're going to take it from the oven, and you're going to take it, remove it, and you're going to strain. Get rid of the cayenne, and then we are going to be using the oil. Now we have got cayenne infused oil. So here we are. Next step, we are going to put our beeswax, our 4 beeswax, into this cayenne infused oil. And afterwards, we are going to put this container in a pot of boiling water on your cooker. until the beeswax have been melted. Next step, we're going to strain again, but this time we're going to be using cheesecloth, or we're going to be using muslin cloth. Why? After straining with the strainer, you will have some sediments left over. So hence, the use of this cheesecloth will remove all the sediments and the oil will now be clear. Very, very clear, as you can see it. Now is the time that we are going to be adding our oils. So we add half a teaspoon or 1 teaspoon of each oil. As I said before, you can add wintergreen oils or any oil you prefer. Once it can be used for pain and aches. Jeanette will talk about the oils further afterwards. And then you're going to be adding a teaspoon of menthol crystals. You put all of this in a container and you mix it thoroughly so that all the oils and the crystals have been thoroughly mixed in. So everything will be dissolved properly. And then you're going to pour it into your container. I've chosen this container because you can see through it. So you're going to be pouring it in your container. And then you're going to leave it to cool. Do not cover it until it's cold. That is very important. Now we have got our Cayenne healing balm. This is one I made yesterday. This one is a bit yellowish because I added some boswellia. You would have heard in adverts on TV or on the radio, people talking about boswellia formula, how it's good for muscular aches and pains and how it's good for your joints. But what it is, it's just frankincense. This is the one we have just made. You can notice the difference in color. So this is pure Cayenne healing balm, and this one, boswellia, has been added. If you use this kind of chili, of course, your ointment is going to be a little bit darker because the pepper is darker. So here we have got it, Cayenne healing balm for muscular aches and pains, arthritis. And it's very important when you are applying Cayenne or anything for this matter, you need to apply towards the heart, towards the heart. That is very important. So here we have got it, your Cayenne healing balm. So now you can go on to make Cayenne healing balm for your family and your friends. And if you haven't got the time, then I can share some of mine with you. I hope that you have found this very informative and helpful. And thank you so very much for watching.
Thank you, Jackie. That was great.
Sorry, can you repeat the ingredient, the quantity?
Okay, so it's 100 grams of cayenne, 750 ml of olive oil, 4 beeswax.
What? Excuse me, sister. What is the weight of the beeswax? Or the ounces when it's melted?
Yeah, that would be 4 ounces because each would weigh an ounce.
Okay.
And you just buy them as they are.
How can we buy it if we wanted to buy it off you?
You can buy it in any health shop, or you can
No,
buy
not
it
the
on
beeswax, not the beeswax. Your healing balm. How can we buy that if we don't have time to make it?
Okay, you can get information afterwards. So thank you very much for watching. And I hope it has been very helpful and informative. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, Jackie, you were giving the ingredients, but I think it wasn't quite finished, was it?
Okay, it's 100 grams of cayenne, 750 ml of olive oil, 4 beeswax, a teaspoon of menthol crystals, and you can add like half a teaspoon or 1 teaspoon of whichever oils you like. I use wintergreen essential oil, peppermint oil, and the presentation that comes afterwards, she will give you other oils that you can use as well. And I stated that I use Boswellia, which is just frankincense. So you can buy that in a powdered form, or you can buy it as a block and then grind it. Because as soon as you grind it, it will tend to be coagulate as well. So you can just add it when you're putting it in the boiling water. That is the time you had the Boswellia, and it's an excellent balm.
Thank you.
Please. Excuse me.
Is
What
this
you
for
say?
any pain?
All right, can I just interrupt
Can
everybody?
I ask you a question, please, Jackie?
Mr. Jackie,
Yeah.
1 minute.
Okay.
Or you want to know what the healing balm is for?
Yes.
Yeah, it's for stiff neck, sore muscles, headaches, but then you'll have to apply it to the pressure points, which Jeanette will show you the pressure points in a minute. Muscular pains, stiff joints, arthritis, and you can use it before you use any other ointment that you have, because what the cayenne will do, it will pull that ointment deeper into the body.
Okay, can I ask a question? Can we?
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Can we use the powdered form of the cayenne, or we have to use the natural cayenne?
You can use the powdered form, but be sure that it's cayenne, because some people tend to mix it with paprika. I've bought it in bulk before, and it's mixed with paprika. So it's best to get your cayenne. You can get it from some African shop, or you can contact me as well. If you are going to use it in the powdered form, then it will burn easily in the oven.
Okay.
So it's best to use it in the other form. Or you can use it with the hot water method. So you pour the oil on the cayenne granules, and then you put it in a pot with boiling water, but then it will have to be there for a longer time, like about 3 hours. And then you put it on very low, and then you continue from there. But in the oven, it will tend to burn because of the tiny particles.
Thank you so much. If the world from you withholds all of its silver and its gold, and you have to get along with meager fare, just remember in God's word how he feeds the little bird. Take your burden to the Lord and leave it there. Leave it there. Leave